few members who are arriving, so I'll give everyone a second to get seated. But this will be the Planning and Zoning Committee for Monday, January 31st, and to give Metro a countdown, I'll begin a countdown. So, but if everyone could find your seats and get ready, we'll be starting just momentarily. So for Metro purposes, that will be a 10, 9, 8, 1, liftoff. All righty. So this is the Planning and Zoning Committee meeting for today, Monday, January the 31st. I do want to, most things are going to be on our consent agenda unless y'all pull items off the consent agenda. But I do want to say that we do have a lot of illness, unfortunately, among our planning department staff. And so Matthew is going to do his best to be all of our planning staff combined. So hopefully, like I said, with most of our items being on consent for today, we won't have any significant questions, but if we do, we will do the best that we can and appreciate everyone's patience. So I'll call the roll really quickly. I'm present. Councilmember Bradford is present. Councilmember Gamble is present. Councilmember Hager is present. I don't see Councilmember Hall or Councilmember Murphy. Councilmember O'Connell is present. Councilmember Parker is present. Vice Chair Rutherford is present. I don't see Councilmember Sepulveda. Councilmember Van Rees is present, and Councilmember Welsh is present. So we do have a quorum. So thank you, everyone, for making your way to get here on a Monday. So the items that I have, you should have your agendas in front of you, but the items that I have that are going to be on consent, that I have on consent, are items number 2, RS 22-1363. Item number 3, RS 2022-1369. Item number 4, RS 2022-1370. Item number 5, RS 2022-1371. Item number 7, BL 2021-897. Item number 8, BL 2021-1014. Item number 9, BL 2021-1025. Item number 10, BL 2022-1075. Item number 11, BL 2022-1076. Item number 12, BL 2022-1077. Item number 13, BL 2022-1078. Item number 14, BL 2022-1079. Item number 15, BL 2022-1080. Item number 16, BL 2022-1081. And item number 17, which is BL 2022-1082. Also item 19, BL 2021-995. Does anyone have any of those items that needs to come off of the consent agenda? So what that would leave is item number 1, which we would discuss as RS 2022-1326. Item number 6, which is BL 2021-884. Can we do that one on consent just for deferral? Item number 6. Not an amendment or anything. Okay. So item number 6, which is up for deferral, but let's see. And then item number 18, which is BL 2021-621, has a second substitute. So those are the items that would be discussed. Councilmember Van Rees, did you have an item? Let me go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to move number 9, 1025 from consent, just for explanation of its existence. Thank you.
Anything else, colleagues? Go ahead.
Thank you. I'd like to pull number 8, BL 2021-1014.
Okay. So it's items number 8, number 9. Any other items that colleagues wish to pull? 8, 9, so 1, 8, 9, and 18. All right, with that, I will read the captions for the consent calendar. So we'll begin with item number 2, resolution RS 22, or rather, resolution RS 2022-1363. Sponsors are Allen, Withers, and others. Approves an application for a Davidson County Cemetery Preservation Plan from the Tennessee Historical Commission. It's a grant. Item number 3, RS 2022-1369. The sponsors are O'Connell, Withers, and Young. It's a resolution authorizing 1501 Herman Street LLC to construct an aerial encroachment at 1501 Herman Street. Item number 4, which is RS 2022-1370. The sponsors are council members Parker, Withers, and Young. It's a resolution authorizing Nashville Leased Housing Associates 3 to construct and install an aerial encroachment at 900 Dickerson Pike. Item number 5, RS 2022-1371. The sponsors are O'Connell, Withers, and Young. It's a resolution that amends Ordinance BL 2021-1027 to abandon an obsolete slope easement and temporary construction easement for property at more or less Fogg Street for the Paseo South Gulch project. Bills on second reading, item number 7, BL 2021-897. The sponsors Councilmember Sepulveda. This is a contextual overlay district for properties located east of Nolensville Pike. And I think that was already substituted last time. So that substitute's already before us. Item number 10, BL 2022-1075. The sponsors are Councilmembers Taylor, Allen, and Withers. Authorizes the Director of Public Property to transfer to Hoosier Capital LP any remaining interest in the Metropolitan government of Nashville and Davidson County in an unnumbered alley and unnumbered strip of property. Item number 11, BL 2022-1076. The sponsors are Councilmembers O'Connell, Allen, Withers, and Young. Approves a participation agreement between Metro Government through NDOT and SP Church Project LLC for sidewalk repairs on Church Street. Item number 12, BL 2022-1077. The sponsors are Councilmember Toombs, Withers, and Young. Authorizes the Metro Government to abandon a portion of easement rights for property located at 503 West Trinity Lane, formerly Winstead Avenue, alley number 1035, and an unnumbered alley. Item number 13, BL 2022-1078. The sponsors are Councilmembers Withers, Young, and Suara. This ordinance authorizes Metro Government to adopt the revised flood insurance rate map to minimize dangers to life and property due to flooding and to maintain eligibility for participation in the National Flood Insurance Program. Item number 14, BL 2022-1079. The sponsors are Councilmembers Lee, Withers, and Young. This ordinance authorizes Metro Government to accept new public water and sanitary sewer mains, fire hydrant assemblies, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements for property located at 3631 Pinhook Road, also known as Hobson Park. Item number 15, BL 2022-1080. The sponsors are Councilmembers O'Connell, Withers, and Young. This ordinance authorizes Metro Government to abandon existing sanitary sewer mains, sanitary sewer manholes, fire hydrant assembly, and easements, and to accept a new sanitary manhole, fire hydrant assembly, and easements for property located at 1207 McGavick Street, also known as Gulch Union South Tower. Item number 16, BL 2022-1081. The sponsors are Councilmembers Cash, Withers, Young, and Allen. Authorizes Metro Government to abandon an existing public sanitary sewer main, to adjust sanitary sewer manholes, and to accept new sanitary sewer main for property located at 2405 21st Avenue South, also known as the Blue Pearl Vet. Item number 17, BL 2022-1082. The sponsors are Councilmembers O'Connell, Withers, and Young. This ordinance authorizes Metro Government to abandon an existing sanitary sewer and water mains, sanitary sewer manholes, fire hydrant assembly, and easements, to relocate a fire hydrant assembly and to accept new sanitary and sewer mains, water mains, sanitary sewer manhole, fire hydrant assemblies, and easements for 2 properties located at 801 12th Avenue North and 800 14th Avenue North, also known as Chartwell at Marathon Village. And finally, we have ordinances on third reading. Item number 19, BL 2021-995. The lead sponsor is Councilmember Toombs. This ordinance amends the zoning code by changing from RS10 to R10 zoning for property located at 3408 Hydes Ferry Road, approximately 110 feet south of Ashton Avenue, all of which is described herein. Vice Chair Rutherford, could I get a motion on the consent agenda? Thank you. Is there a second? All right. Any discussion on the consent calendar? Seeing and hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great. Thank you. We will now go on to items that were not on the consent calendar. The first one is resolutions. It's Resolution RS 2022-1326. The lead sponsor is Councilmember Jennifer Gamble, who's present. This one requests the Metropolitan Planning Commission and Metro Planning Department to review and amend as needed the current general plan for Nashville and Davidson County, Nashville Next, a general plan for Nashville and Davidson County no later than June 30th of 2023. Colleagues, if you will recall, Councilmember Gamble had introduced this. Director Kempf was present about a month ago, and they requested, the planning department requested a 2-meeting deferral at that time in order to, number one, to receive feedback from colleagues, from district council members, if there are areas of the districts that you represent that you feel might need a community plan update. So that's number one, but also they wanted to, I think, look at some of the data that's coming from the census and look at that as it pertains to the growth and concept development map in Nashville Next. And unfortunately, as I mentioned, staff can't be here today. They're still working on that analysis, but can't be here today. And so they had requested a 1-meeting deferral, and I'll go ahead and recognize the sponsor. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Rivers. You're absolutely correct. We had deferred this bill, or this resolution rather, a month ago for 2 meetings to allow the time for council members to submit information. And of course, as a result of planning not being able to be here today to give us kind of a review and an update of what kind of information they got and how feasible they think it will be for them to do that, definitely want to defer for 1 meeting so that we can allow time for them to come back to do that. Also, would like to say there seems to be some misinformation circulating about the intention behind this bill. I just like to reiterate that, or this resolution, I just like to reiterate that this resolution came about as a result of myself attending many planning meetings and also having discussions with community members in my district about Nashville Next and how the land use policy in some areas don't seem to match or maybe have changed from what the community wants to see for the area. So the purpose of this resolution is Nashville Next is a document that was adopted in 2015, but it's not a document that is supposed to set like that in perpetuity. It was always intended for a review of areas throughout the district as needed. And this process still includes engagement from the community. This is not something where council members or planning will be making changes without community input. The process for Nashville Next will be exactly like it was previously, where the community will be invited to be engaged in the process, provide input about what they'd like to see or if there are any changes needed. So this is a transparent public community planning and council member effort. And so I just want to make that clear, and also hope that since we have a little more time now, if council members have not submitted areas in their districts that they think may need to be reviewed or updated, if they can still do that now, since we have a little bit more time. We have 2 more weeks now before we'll be reviewing this. That'll give council members who, for whatever reason, may have missed the deadline to get that information in to go on and send that in. So thank you for allowing me to say that, and I would like to move for a one-meeting deferral. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Gimbel. Is there a second on the one meeting deferral? All right, great. So all in favor of the one meeting deferral, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, thank you. And we'll try again in 2 weeks. So the next item that was not on consent is item number 8, which is BL 2021-1014. The sponsors are Councilmember Sledge, Allen, Withers, and Lee. This is an ordinance approving a lease agreement by and between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Education and Cameron College Prep. And if I can look over to Councilmember Allen, is this item going to be also heard in Budget and Finance? Go ahead.
I have not seen a request for deferral unless it's come in and I missed it. So my understanding is that it will be discussed in Budget and Finance Committee.
And my reason for asking that is I know that a lot of times, and certainly at the last council meeting, there was a lot of discussion about details of lease agreements and stuff like that, and that's a little bit more of a planning item than, or I'm sorry, a budget item than a planning item, so.
So we will certainly talk about the financial aspects of it there.
Great, fantastic. So having said that, what's that? Item number 8. Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on, actually, let me go back. There's one that I forgot. This is item number 6, BL 2021-884, which is the lead sponsors are Councilmembers Murphy and Nash. This is a manhole sewer easement one. The only action is that it's supposed to be deferred one meeting per Rule 43. And so, having said that, do we need to take a vote on it? Okay, all right. Then that one's deferred by rule. So now we can come back to number 8. So thank you for that. So back to number 8. So again, the sponsors are Councilmember Sledge, Allen, Withers, and Lee. Like I said, with this item, having the details of the lease being discussed probably more so in Budget and Finance. Councilmember Allen?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do not see it on the Budget and Finance agenda. I apologize. I see only resolutions on there.
Okay, our agenda states that it's referred to the Budget and Finance Committee.
Hold on. Is it a resolution or a?
It's an ordinance.
My page 4 does not have it.
It's bills on second reading.
Okay, it is on, we'll just make sure that I have it updated. Okay, actually, this is an old Budget and Finance. So I apologize for the confusion.
Okay.
I think my agenda is sitting up there on your thing. So I haven't seen the published agenda. Okay, so therefore, it will be discussed in Budget and Finance. We will talk about the financial aspects there.
Right. So,
Sorry.
And we do have a letter requesting support from the district councilmember, from Councilmember Colby Sledge, and I know he can't be here to discuss, at least at our committee, but I'm sure he will be present for the full discussion at council. But I believe that Councilmember Bradford had requested to pull this. So would you like me to recognize you, Councilmember Bradford? All right, one moment, please. There you go.
Thank you, Chair. The reason I pulled this was so I could be on the records of voting no. Thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Allen.
Thank you. If I can be recognized one more time. I do want to point out that one thing that is unique about this one is that it is a conversion. And so it is a zoned school that simply had a charter operator come in and grade by grade change the culture, but the students stayed exactly the same. So I think that might be useful information from a planning perspective for people to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Allen. Is there any other discussion on this item? Any other council members seeking to be recognized? Okay, well, we'll try this with a voice vote. So all in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Other than Bradford, any others? Welsh, so that's 2, 3, okay. All right, any abstentions? Okay, so that is 6 to 3. Thank you, colleagues. The next one is item number 9. This is BL 2021-1025. The lead sponsor is Councilmember Van Rees, and I will go ahead and recognize Councilmember Van Rees.
Yes. I'd like to ask for a withdrawal of this and a brief explanation about it, if you don't mind. Okay. Colleagues, a lot of you actually co-signed this legislation to rename Woodruff Street after David McMurray. I am withdrawing this particular bill. You'll see on the consent calendar tomorrow in first reading a replacement bill, which I encourage everyone to consider co-sponsoring. This way, it will allow an honorary David McMurray Way to coexist with Woodruff Way in the heart of the growing Madison Station Boulevard district. I met with the David McMurray Memorial Committee. They had reached out to property owners along Woodruff to assist with any incidental costs associated with renaming the street. However, of course, there was a good majority of council members ready to proceed with the renaming. However, after a thoughtful review of the documentation from Metro Historic Commission, I've resolved along with the Memorial Committee that David would not want us to accidentally erase Madison history, but rather to amplify its future. So for that reason, we've adjusted and are withdrawing this bill to rename the street and instead are replacing it with a bill to do an honorary naming so that they can coexist. I appreciate your patience on this. A lot of work was done in the community. And with that, I ask for a withdrawal of 2021-1025.
Great. Thank you so much, Councilmember Van Rees, for your work on that and all your work in the Madison community. I believe that motion will take place on the floor. I don't think we need to vote on a withdrawal, but yeah. But thank you for that explanation. That brings us to the next item, which is the final item, which is bills on third reading, item number 18. This is the second substitute of Ordinance BL 2021-621. The lead sponsor is Councilmembers Murphy, Allen, O'Connell, and Bradford. We do have a letter from Councilmember Murphy, the lead sponsor, requesting to defer this item until the second meeting in March. Councilmember Allen has submitted an amendment and had indicated that you wanted to discuss it, so I will recognize Councilmember Allen to discuss the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate that opportunity. We've worked really hard on this bill to ensure that we create a good process simply for making sure that neighbors are aware when something is going to go before the Historic Commission, if it's something that actually would affect them. If it's something hidden deep in the back and nobody cares, we're not going to ask the owners to spend extra money notifying neighbors of that. But if it's something that everyone is going to see on the front, or it's a corner lot, and the current amendment would simply refer to the Historic Commission's rules and policies, which spell out very explicitly and specifically for Nashville, which items are considered by the Historic Commission and which ones are approved administratively. And that is the kind of specificity that Councilmember Murphy was asking for. She had found a good example in Raleigh, but it turns out we have a very good example that's also uniquely developed for Nashville. And so the proposed amendment, which I'm not necessarily going to offer, but I just would ask people to read it and study it so that we can then discuss it when the main sponsor of the bill is here, would simply replace that very specific language from another city with a reference to our living and growing document that the Historic Zoning Commission adjust, based on what happens with examples that they see in real life. So rather than set legislatively the description based on another city, this would refer to a document that is still very explicit on which things would be considered. Anything that's going to be considered by the Planning Commission would then require a sign and notification to people within 250 feet. So please study that amendment, and I think we'll bring it back in 2 weeks, and then I would love to ask you to support it then.
Thank you, Councilmember Allen. And I know that this has been I know Councilmember Murphy's been trying to find ways for a little bit better notification, because sometimes for those of us who live in conservation overlays, we're used to reading the agendas, but also sometimes people sort of, I think, take them for granted a little bit and maybe don't always read them every month, and sometimes they get caught by surprise. So for some things, I think Councilmember Murphy was trying to find ways of making sure that at least the adjacent neighbors knew. She's tried it a couple of different ways. This ordinance has been kind of bubbling under for a little while. For the second substitute, I know the boards, at least of Edgefield, East End, and Laughlin Springs in District 6, took a look at that. There were some things that they thought were valuable from that, but some things that they were concerned about. So I think for all of the council members who have conservation or historic preservation overlay districts, now's the time. Please work with your boards of those neighborhood groups, and we can hopefully all come to a good place pretty soon. But with that, the request of the lead sponsor is for a deferral to the second meeting in March. Can I get, can I get someone to move that deferral? So Councilmember Welsh moves it. Is there a second? Okay, great. So all in favor of a deferral to the second meeting in March? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. Well, that concludes the business of the Planning and Zoning Committee for right now. We are going to have, at the conclusion of Budget and Finance, at least a preliminary discussion about prioritization for the capital improvements budget. We do have some of the departments who have sent representatives here, and I know we'll have a good discussion. It's unfortunate planning staff can't be with us today, but I know we'll have a good discussion nevertheless at the end. So I encourage folks to stick around for that. And that concludes our business for Planning and Zoning, and I'll turn it over to Councilmember Parker for affordable housing.